Have you ever found yourself standing in front of the fridge, devouring food you don't even really want? You know you're not physically hungry, yet you can't seem to stop. It's about recognizing the difference between true hunger and something else entirely, the binge urge. Stress, boredom, a tempting dessert, these are seen as the culprits. But what if the answer lies deeper, within the intricate workings of our own minds? What if the real culprit is the elusive, often misunderstood binge urge? It's time to move beyond simplistic explanations and confront the urge head-on. This is about more than just food. It's about understanding your inner world and reclaiming your power. We've all been there, that feeling of being powerless against a mountain of chips or cookies. We tell ourselves it's the stress, the long day, the enticing commercials. But these are merely triggers, not the root cause. Binging is often misconstrued as a simple lack of willpower or a response to external cues. However, this oversimplification fails to address the complex emotional and psychological factors at play. The truth is, binge eating is rarely about the food itself. It's a way of coping with uncomfortable emotions, a subconscious attempt to numb or soothe ourselves. It might be a response to stress, sadness, loneliness, or even boredom. Food becomes a refuge, a temporary escape from the challenges of life. Imagine a young woman who feels overwhelmed by her demanding job. She comes home exhausted, feeling emotionally drained. Instead of addressing the root cause of her stress, she finds solace in a pint of ice cream. Understanding the true nature of the urge is the first step toward reclaiming control. The binge urge is not merely a craving, it's a powerful, visceral force that can feel overwhelming. It's a sensation that can take over your entire being, making it difficult to focus on anything else. This urge can be so strong that it feels like an external force, something beyond your control, pushing you towards food. It's not just about wanting to eat, it's about needing to eat, feeling compelled to eat, as if your very survival depends on it. This force can be so overpowering that it drowns out all other thoughts and feelings, leaving you with a singular focus: to binge. Picture this. You're at a party surrounded by people, yet you feel a profound sense of loneliness wash over you. Despite the laughter and conversations around you, you feel isolated, disconnected from the crowd. This loneliness is not just a fleeting emotion. It's a deep, aching void that seems impossible to fill. You try to engage, to be part of the festivities, but the sense of isolation only grows stronger. It's as if there's an invisible barrier separating you from everyone else, making you feel like an outsider in your own life. This feeling of loneliness can be incredibly painful, and it's often in these moments that the urge to binge becomes most powerful. Suddenly, the urge to binge hits. It's like a wave crashing over you, sudden and intense. One moment you're trying to navigate your feelings of loneliness, and the next, you're overwhelmed by an insatiable desire to eat. This urge can come out of nowhere, catching you off guard and leaving you feeling helpless. It's a compulsion that demands immediate attention, making it difficult to think about anything else. The need to binge becomes all-consuming, overshadowing everything else in your life. It's not about the food, it's about filling the void of loneliness. The act of eating becomes a way to cope with the emotional pain, a temporary escape from the feelings of isolation and disconnection. Food becomes a source of comfort, a way to numb the pain and fill the emptiness inside. It's a way to distract yourself from the loneliness, to create a sense of fullness and satisfaction, even if it's only temporary. The act of binging becomes a ritual, a way to soothe your emotions and find a momentary reprieve from the pain. This urge is different from regular hunger. Regular hunger is a physical sensation, a signal from your body that it needs nourishment. The binge urge, on the other hand, is an emotional response, a way to cope with feelings of loneliness, sadness, or anxiety. It's not about satisfying a physical need, it's about addressing an emotional one. This distinction is important because it highlights the difference between eating for sustenance and eating for comfort. Understanding this difference can help you recognize when you're experiencing a binge urge and take steps to address it in a healthier way. It's intense, urgent, and often accompanied by a sense of anxiety or unease. The binge urge can create a sense of urgency, a feeling that you need to eat right now, without delay. This urgency is often accompanied by feelings of anxiety or unease, making the urge even more difficult to resist. The combination of these emotions can create a powerful compulsion to binge, making it feel like the only way to find relief. This sense of urgency can be overwhelming, making it difficult to think clearly or make rational decisions. It whispers promises of comfort and escape, urging you to silence your emotions with food. The binge urge can be seductive, offering the promise of relief from your emotional pain. It tells you that eating will make you feel better, that it will provide a temporary escape from your feelings of loneliness and anxiety. This promise can be incredibly tempting, making it difficult to resist the urge to binge. The idea of finding comfort in food can be so appealing that it overshadows the negative consequences of binging, making it seem like the best option in the moment. Imagine a young man who's just had a fight with his partner. He's feeling a whirlwind of emotions: anger, hurt, frustration. The argument has left him feeling vulnerable and misunderstood, and he's struggling to process his feelings. In this moment of emotional turmoil, the urge to binge becomes incredibly strong. It's a way to cope with the pain, to find a sense of control in a situation that feels chaotic and overwhelming. He feels hurt, angry, and misunderstood. These emotions are powerful and difficult to manage, creating a sense of inner turmoil. The young man is struggling to find a way to cope with his feelings, and the urge to binge becomes a tempting option. It offers a way to numb the pain, to find a momentary escape from the emotional chaos. The act of binging becomes a way to soothe his emotions, to find a sense of relief from the hurt and anger he's experiencing. The urge to binge arises not because his stomach is empty, but because his heart aches. The emotional pain he's feeling is driving the urge to binge, creating a powerful compulsion to eat. It's not about satisfying a physical hunger, it's about finding a way to cope with the emotional pain. The young man is seeking solace in food, using it as a way to numb his emotions and find a temporary escape from the hurt he's feeling. This emotional drive is what makes the binge urge so powerful and difficult to resist. He reaches for a bag of chips, seeking solace in the crunchy, salty bites. The act of eating becomes a way to find comfort, to create a sense of satisfaction and relief. The young man is using food as a way to cope with his emotions, to find a momentary escape from the pain. The crunch of the chips, the salty flavor, all provide a sensory distraction from the emotional turmoil he's experiencing. It's a way to find a brief moment of comfort in the midst of his emotional pain. The key is to learn how to recognize it, understand its triggers, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Recognizing the binge urge is the first step in managing it. Understanding what triggers the urge can help you take steps to address it in a healthier way. Developing coping mechanisms, such as finding alternative ways to manage your emotions, can help you resist the urge to binge. It's about finding healthier ways to cope with your feelings, ways that don't involve food. This can be a challenging process, but it's an important step in managing the binge urge and finding a healthier way to cope with your emotions. You have the strength and resilience to choose a different path, one that nourishes your body and soul. It's about finding ways to take care of yourself that don't involve food, ways that help you manage your emotions and find a sense of fulfillment. This can involve finding activities that bring you joy, connecting with others, or seeking professional help if needed. It's about finding a balance, a way to nourish both your body and soul, and create a sense of well-being that doesn't rely on food. You have the power to choose a healthier path, one that helps you manage your emotions and find a sense of fulfillment without turning to food. Let's meet Sarah, a woman who struggled with binge eating for years. She often found herself mindlessly eating, feeling powerless to stop. One evening, as she reached for her third cookie, a wave of self-awareness washed over her. She realized she wasn't even enjoying the taste, she was simply caught in the grip of the urge. This moment of awareness was a turning point for Sarah. She began to pay attention to the physical sensations that accompanied the urge: a tightness in her chest, a knot in her stomach, a sense of restlessness. Sarah started journaling about her experiences, tracking her urges and the emotions that preceded them. By understanding her urges, Sarah began to develop healthier coping mechanisms. The urge to binge can be cunning, disguising itself as something else entirely. It might whisper to you in the form of a craving for chocolate, chips, or pizza. But is it truly your body asking for nourishment, or is it the urge, seeking to numb an emotion you'd rather not feel? True hunger builds gradually. It's a physical sensation that can be satisfied with a variety of foods. A rumbling stomach, low energy levels, or a slight headache can all be signs of physical hunger. The binge urge, on the other hand, is sudden and intense. It demands immediate gratification and often fixates on specific foods, usually those high in sugar, fat, or salt. Imagine you're feeling stressed about an upcoming presentation. You suddenly crave a bag of potato chips. Before giving in, pause and ask yourself, am I truly hungry, or am I seeking comfort from the stress? Learning to differentiate between cravings and true hunger is crucial for breaking free from the binge eating cycle. The binge urge often thrives in a cycle of shame and secrecy. We feel ashamed of our urges, so we try to hide them, only to find ourselves succumbing to them in private. This cycle can be incredibly isolating and difficult to break. Imagine a young student who binges on cookies after a particularly stressful exam. Afterward, he feels overwhelmed with guilt and shame, vowing never to do it again. Yet the next time he faces a similar situation, the urge returns and the cycle repeats. This cycle is fueled by the belief that we are somehow flawed or lacking in willpower. Breaking free from this cycle requires self-compassion and a willingness to challenge our negative self-talk. Instead of judging ourselves for our urges, we can choose to approach them with curiosity and understanding. Every small victory, no matter how insignificant it may seem, deserves to be celebrated. The journey from feeling controlled by the binge urge to experiencing true empowerment is a process, not a destination. It's about learning to listen to your body's wisdom and respond to its needs with kindness and compassion. Start by cultivating mindfulness. Pay attention to the sensations in your body, the thoughts in your mind, and the emotions you're experiencing. Notice when the urge arises, and instead of judging it, simply observe it with curiosity. Explore alternative coping mechanisms. Engage in activities that bring you joy and nourish your soul. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Reach out for support from friends, family, therapists, or support groups. Taking back control is about rediscovering the joy of nourishing your body with food that truly serves you. The path to peace with food is not about achieving perfect control or adhering to rigid rules. It's about cultivating a compassionate and intuitive relationship with your body and its needs. Experiment with different approaches to find what works best for you. Some people find solace in mindful eating practices, while others benefit from exploring the emotional roots of their eating habits through therapy. Be patient with yourself and embrace the journey with curiosity and self-compassion. As you begin to understand your urges and develop healthier coping mechanisms, you'll find that the urge to binge gradually loses its power. You'll experience a newfound sense of freedom and empowerment, knowing that you are in control of your choices. This journey is about rediscovering the joy of eating, savoring each bite, and nourishing your body with love and respect. The journey of healing your relationship with food can feel daunting at times, but remember, you don't have to navigate it alone. Reaching out for support can be incredibly empowering and provide invaluable guidance along the way. Consider connecting with a therapist specializing in eating disorders or disordered eating. They can provide a safe and supportive space to explore the emotional roots of your relationship with food and develop personalized coping strategies. Support groups can also be a source of strength and encouragement. Sharing your experiences with others who understand can help you feel less alone and provide a sense of community. Don't underestimate the power of confiding in trusted friends or family members. Seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Imagine a future where food is no longer a source of stress or guilt, but a source of nourishment and enjoyment. A future where you feel confident and in control of your choices, free from the grip of the binge urge. This future is within your reach. By understanding the psychological and emotional roots of binge eating, you can begin to heal your relationship with food and create a life filled with peace, joy, and delicious possibilities. Remember, recovery is not a linear process. There will be ups and downs, challenges, and setbacks along the way. Embrace the journey with compassion and patience. You are worthy of a life filled with peace, joy, and a harmonious relationship with food.